What's up, guys? Welcome to the Frugal BC live stream. We are talking Algorand, we are talking HBAR, we are talking all kinds of crypto today. We're going to be talking about that on the show. We got quite a packed show today. Lots of stuff on there, and yeah, we're just going to go through the news. We're going to look at the Algorand charts or the crypto charts as we always do, including Algorand. We're going to look at the ASA charts like we always do, and then we got like quite a few stories. So our lead story today is it SpaghettiOs for Algorand? We got a whole lot of things happening on the Algorand blockchain that have been not so good in the last couple of weeks, and we're going to go through all of them. We're going to kind of talk about what that means, how important that is. We get the My Algo hackers compiling a bunch of little accounts into one big account recently. We're going to look at that news. Yieldy and Yessports join forces through Wormhole, so they're combining forces, becoming a new thing. As much as anyone cares about what's going on with Yieldy these days, Book.io is minting copies of Brave New World for Consensus, and Book.io has actually added Algorand pretty recently, so we're going to talk about that. Coinbase suing the SEC to get crypto-specific rules. That's a big deal. We're going to look at that story. I got MasterCard launching Web3 verification services, partnering with blockchains. Fortunately, Algorand's not on that list, but there's a couple of big ones that are. A new Hedera partner working on biometric payments. We're going to look at that story. We got some good Algorand news. 100,000 tickets minted on Fly Bondi, and that is a big advance from our previous week. So we'll be looking at that story. And did you know Algorand has been powering FIDE chess? And I don't know if I'm even pronounced that right, but apparently that's something that's been going on, but maybe not for long. So we're going to take a look at that. Now, if you've seen my live streams before and you're wondering why the video quality looks so much better, this morning I had kind of a weekend where I didn't have a lot going on, so I had some time to poke around and dig into some things, and I learned that I finally figured out how to connect my Sony A7mkII as a webcam. And apparently, I've tried this before and I got frustrated, but I found this YouTube video from this really small creator, and apparently it's just a couple buttons you had to press on the back, and it works like a charm. So this is great because I'm going to start recording my regular videos with this camera too. And I mean, I bought this camera. I didn't buy this camera for web shooting. I bought it to be, a film camera because I shoot a lot of photography on the side. I make some decent money doing that. And but I always thought, well, I have this really nice camera, but it seems like such a pain in the butt to use it to record videos because taking photos from these and transferring them is very, very easy. But transferring video is a huge pain in the butt. But now that I figured out that I can hook it up to my computer, much, much better. So anyway, in case you were wondering why all of a sudden it looks like it looks a lot more professional than it did before, that's why. I'm gonna see who's in the chat. Edward Gil Martin, what is going on, dude? He says great crypto with no oomph. Yeah, we'll address that when we get to I call it the SpaghettiOs segment of what's going on with Algorand these days. Vince Elvari, welcome. Thanks for showing up today. Thanks for being on the show. He says, looks very crisp, my dude. Yeah, that is my full frame Sony, which is now serving as a webcam as well. And I when I got it hooked up this morning, I'm like, oh my God, I love how this looks. I love it. I'm very, very excited. I'm very, very excited about the video quality. So thanks guys for tuning in. I appreciate that. And as we go through the show, remember that you can leave comments at any time. And super chats, of course, are always appreciated, but not necessary. If you got a little extra dough and you wanna set it at old Frugal BC, go ahead. If you don't, totally okay. Free ways to support the channel, of course, is that you can like and subscribe. But regardless of whether you do a super chat or a regular chat, if you ask me a question, I will answer the questions to the best of my ability during the show. So what I do is I kind of go through the news, and then I take little breaks to answer questions. Now, there's a couple ways I'm doing this, so you'll have to bear with me. I might not get there one. Hey, what's going on, Pat? Welcome to the show, Pat. So good to see you. I appreciate it, brother. Good to have you on. It looks like we got a nice little audience going here. Well, why don't we just get into the crypto charts? I'm going to pull this up. Yeah, happy how this looks. Like, so happy. We'll come back to that. Yeah, Sunday seems to be the time to do this because people are on. Yeah, very interesting charts. So Bitcoin's kind of had a little run back up after being down on the week. It is at at just under 30,000 at 29.4 right now, just under 29.5. Ethereum flirting with that 1900 level. Good to see that. It's up a little bit on the week. That's kind of the story for most crypto. It's up a little bit, some a little more than Bitcoin, like Solana. And this kind of illustrates my point that crypto doesn't always make sense. In my opinion, a coin like Solana should just have disappeared by now. But instead, this is like a big price mover. And I still refuse to buy it because while I'll buy like a coin like Dogecoin just for the increase in value, Solana is just too scammy for me to support it, even if it's just to make a quick buck. So, but yeah, as you're seeing, everything's either like a couple percent up to 8%. Cosmos, that's one I really like. I had that for a while. Big fan of Cosmos. Expect good things from that. Pretty low supply too. ICP up. I know the BitBoy crypto folks are big fans of ICP. By the way, I don't even know where to brag about this or whether I should brag about this, but I just found out that BitBoy Crypto is a subscriber to the channel. So shout out to them. I'm a big fan of AJ over there. He's a good friend. And I've had DZ on the channel. DZ's a really cool guy too. Toncoin, not so good. Down a little bit, kind of bucking the trend of the other coins. Hedera, now HBAR, we're big on HBAR here. That is up 7%. Pretty similar to Bitcoin's pump. Sitting at number 31 in market cap. Just see what else, anything interesting. Chronos doing pretty well at 9%. Yeah, Near, we like Near. Now Near's dropped a little bit in market cap, but it's still at 37 at 383, 383, almost 4% up on the week. And there's our Algorand. Algorand fell when everything else was pumping. We've seen a couple other coins like Toncoin fall, but yeah, so Algorand's been sitting at 18 cents. Got as low as 17.5 cents, and it's kind of just sat there. You can see the chart on the right hand side here. It's been kind of sideways where everything else has been pumping up. So not that far off from Quant, but I remember when I first started making these videos, Algorand was always in the either low 20s or high 20s, but it was never, when it started to get in the 30s, I was a little bit worried. Going in the 40s, I don't like to see that. Let's go to the ASAs. And, if you guys want to see my DeFi, I forgot to mention it, but I have a DeFi, Algorand DeFi experiment that I've been going on. And at first I started doing it exclusively on NifGen, but I'll get into what's going on with NifGen another day maybe, but I've just decided I'm gonna post it on both because I just feel like it's too important to leave behind a paywall. And so I put it in NifGen a couple hours before I put it up on YouTube. Yeah, so Chips is looking really good, and I've had some people ask me to cover it, but I just don't have any interest in gambling. I mean, crypto's already kind of gambling, so that just seems like a double gamble there. So I'll talk about it, but I'm not gonna like do a video on it. DeFi actually falling a bit, and DeFi, I saw some news about DeFi that they're going to be adding some multi-sig features, so I like that. Opula's pumping up now. They got a little bit of news too. I didn't include it in the chart, but they had some big event that they just did. I don't really understand exactly what it is. And let's see, Vestigia's down, Bank is down, Yieldly's up a little bit. Good for you, Yieldly fans. And Cosmos Gold falling again. I still got to get on. So they had to opt in for the new coin, and I just haven't done anything with it. I got to look into that. Now, Vote Coin, that's a newer one on the charts here. That's up a little bit. Akita Inu down. Akita Inu, the community manager of Akita Inu, I think was the very first interview I did on this channel, and he's not even with Akita Inu. Very nice guy, though. Actually, come to think of it, I haven't talked to him in a while. And then Planet is way up. That's one I always want to get into, and then I go look into it, and the information is so terrible on Planet's site. They really got to fix that. All right, let's see what's going on in the chat. Lots of chat. Giovanni says, cool. Welcome, Giovanni Olarbe. Algo DeFi is bad. They need better DeFi options. Yeah, I don't know if you've seen my Algorand DeFi experiments, but yeah, it's gone very interestingly so far. I highly recommend looking at it. Edward Gilmartin says Render looks good, and I have to look at that one. I haven't looked too much. Kurt Wilson also saying Render, as well as Flux, ICP, INJ, Radix. Says all those seem like interesting coins. And I can't touch that because it just freezes up. Hold on, I gotta pull it up on my computer here, on my phone. I may have screwed it up already. I'm not sure. Let's see. Let's get the survey. I just want to make sure I'm not missing anybody. People are asking about DeFi options. Yeah, so all right. Let's get into something. Oh yeah. See, I can't touch the chat. That's so frustrating. Okay, give me 1 second. I'm gonna go in and back out. Hold on. Okay, I'm back. Sorry about that, guys. I just literally can't touch the chat. So hopefully, hopefully, I'm glad you all stuck around. I appreciate that. I think you did. Yep. Okay. Well, let's just get to the next story. I'll keep an eye on the chat. Yeah, Back from the Future. Exactly. Nice. A little callback to my. I always say I'll see you in the future, and then I got a little clip from Back to the Future. All right. Well, yeah, let's get into. This is going to take me a little while, just a second to pull this up, but yeah, there's been some really bad Algorand news lately, and I want to talk about this because I started collecting it. And I was going to make a separate video, and I think I'll just talk about it here, and maybe I'll pull the video out. So I just want to pull this up. Yeah, so a number of things have happened, and I've been keeping track of these. And I'm going to kind of go through the list of things that I tracked, and then we'll kind of go backwards and talk about them a little bit. But the first thing that happened, and this actually happened during the middle of my Algorand DeFi experiment. I put $100 into 3 projects. One of those was Algo Stake, and I was staking on the Algo Stake with the Algo Stake coin. Well, Algo Stake announced that it was going out of business. Now, I didn't see that news. So what happened was I bought Algo. So all of a sudden, my Algo Stake that had been worth $130 was worth like $16. And then I saw the news that Algo Stake had gone out of business or was going out of business. And I'm like, well, of course, everyone's selling it off then. And there's nothing to do. There's not going to be any use for Algo Stake after that. Once Algo Stake, the platform is gone, the coin with it is not going to have any other use. I mean, maybe there's some way it could, but we didn't see that with Anaran. No one came around and tried to find a use for it. And I don't think it's going to happen with Algo Stake. So that was quite a shock, and it wasn't the first thing that went out of business, I don't think, but it was a pretty big one. And then I noticed Lofty announced that it was suspending Algorand payments, and that's That's very disturbing. There's something with payments. I've seen a couple of these, and we'll talk about more of these, but I don't know what's going on with Algo. But the fact that that's really disturbing that Lofty all of a sudden had to suspend them for whatever reason. And then I want to share this one because then I saw that Algo Explorer. Now this is a pretty important thing here. Algo Explorer announced that it is shutting its API down. So a lot of developers rely on this. So I'm going to read this here. It says, important, we regret to inform you that our API service will be discontinued on June 15th, 2023. We understand that many of you rely on this service and apologize for any inconvenience this may cause. We encourage you to transition to alternative API solutions before the deprecation date, to ensure a smooth transition. Thank you for your understanding and continued support. Now, they didn't say why, but it's and some of this is just bear market stuff, but you're not really seeing, I'm not seeing the same level on other chains. As I follow HBAR fairly closely too, and I'm not seeing a lot of HBAR projects announcing that they're closing. And that's a little concerning. I'm not going to lie. And this is not the only thing. I've got many more to get through on this list. So remember when I was talking about payments? Well, PacFi had to suspend the launch of a product due to not getting funds from the Algo Foundation. They weren't getting word from them. I'm gonna share this one next. Let's see here. And I promise I'll get to your chats. Just let me get through this segment. So I'm going to skip Governor Zen. Governor Zen's a friend of the channel. I'm going to start with PAX things because regrettably still no news or delivery update from Foundation. We are forced at this point to postpone the kickoff date in earnest to May. And I don't know what they're talking about here, but we'll dig into that in a second. TBD if rewards will be allocated over a shorter 9 weeks instead of 10 or remain a 10-week timeline as planned, shifted right a week. Let's see what that... And this was for their farming. So they're having trouble getting funds from the foundation. Very interesting. Now I want to see what I believe this has been resolved now, by the way. But okay, so Governor Zen then said, would be really great if Algo Foundation could take a sec from their consensus celebrations and address the elephants in the room. One, API being down to calculate Algo DeFi commits during the last week of commit window is frankly irresponsible. Commit window should have been extended to accommodate some communication. It would have been nice instead of leaving everyone to just figure it out. The continued disbursement delays of GP6. Okay, so I believe this is governance for a targeted DeFi boost for those with eligible dispersal plans is getting a bit frustrated. Protocols have acted in good faith to meet these requirements and promote this to Algorand users. We are sitting in deafening silence, waiting and waiting and waiting. And Governor Zen, now this is someone, I don't know if you guys know who this is, but he's actually worked with the foundation on creating the XGov proposal. So he had a lot to do with making sure it got, he was kind of representing the community in a sense to make sure that this actually works for us. And I actually want to have him and Adri from the foundation on at some point to talk about, why this is important, what this means. Maybe give us a little more of those details about how XGov will work and what it is. And I know Gov Zen, he's pretty bullish on the XGov system. I'm not as much, but I want to hear him make the case for it because maybe I'm missing something. So now someone else had pointed out that remember how they were going to be releasing those transparency reports and they were going to come out, they're supposed to be quarterly now. Well, the first quarter transparency report has been overdue for more than a month. So that's also a little concerning. I'm a bit concerned about that. Now, apparently Bitstamp had dropped an Algorand pairing that was pretty important. So that's yet another thing that happened. I didn't have a link on that one. And of course, we all know we've covered this before about Coinbase dropping its Algorand staking rewards. Hasn't dropped any of the other ones. Those are still around. So it kind of makes you wonder what is going on when Bitstamp and Coinbase have kind of distanced themselves from Algorand a little bit, along with Lofty announcing the Algo payments, and some of these projects just not shutting down or suspending things, and then Pac-Fi. And of course, as we just pointed out, Algorand is no longer in the top 40. Remember, and then one more thing I want to talk about before we get into the macro here is the very sharp drop in Algorand dominance. Excuse me. Oh yeah, by the way, this time is way better. I got 15 people watching on the channel. That's awesome. Oops, wrong one. This is from tabt.ab.algo, Algo Tabasco. Good name. I like that name, by the way. Algo market dominance went from 0.7% to 0.11%. Now, for context, the lowest ever ADA dominance was 0.4% and is currently sitting at 1.23%. So we are not even 100th, but 1,000th of the total market cap. How low will our dominance fall? This is some charts he has. HBAR trending in my thing, by the way. Interesting. You can see how the dominance rose and then it fell. And then this is Cardano's here on the other side. And Cardano's never fallen that far. So it seems like crypto markets don't give a blank about technical aspect of each chain and only trades on momentum. Yeah, that's pretty much true. We're going to talk about that in a second. Got a blank chain VCs are pumping, got a meme coin that has potential, hop into it. If that is the case, maybe we just picked the wrong coin. So, all right, let's talk about this and I'm going to get to your chats in just a second, but this is the thing I've been really discovering about crypto is that it's not always, I don't want to say the tech doesn't matter because I don't think that's accurate. I think the tech does matter, but someone just said it. You said it in the very beginning. I'm going to pull back up to that. Yeah, Edward Gilmartin said, great crypto with no oomph. I don't know if there's a better way to phrase it for Algorand. It just seems like it's on the back end, technologically, it's doing all the things right, but it has no oomph, it has no momentum. And I don't know if it's the foundation, if it's the choices they're making. I'm not sure what it is. It just doesn't seem to pick up the steam that it would need, to be a really contending project. And I don't understand it because, like I said, the whole reason I got into Algorand is because it worked so well. I tried other stuff. I tried other stuff on Ethereum. I thought DeFi sounded really cool. I remember trying it on Compound and it didn't work, but I lost a bunch of money. I was like, well, this sucks. And then when I tried to do stuff on Algorand, I'm like, look, it works. That's cool. And I've often said that Algorand is sort of the adult in the room when it comes to crypto, but the adults don't get people excited. It's like Algorand's the boring guy standing at the podium and talking in a monotone voice, and he's probably saying all the right things, but he's not very exciting. Other cryptos seem to be the Steve-O jumping off buildings and kicking themselves in the nuts, and that gets way more attention. So I'm hoping. I think a lot of people were hoping the new marketing head person would maybe kick things into high gear a little bit. And I don't know. I haven't she seems like she's been pretty quiet. I haven't seen a lot of huge push from Algorand. I think some of the coolest things are happening outside. Maybe I'll show it a little later, but like Seawill, friend of the channel here, just put out a new preview of his new rap video talking about Algorand. It's pretty cool. I like it. And I'm like, that gets me more excited about Algorand than anything the foundation is doing. And maybe that's what it has to be. I think it has to be the community. I don't think other than like Charles Hoskinson, I mean, he makes me want to like Cardano because he just has a lot of good stuff to say. Well, let's see what you guys are saying now. Yeah, Pat said R.I.P. Algo Steak. You know, the thing I liked about Algo Steak is that you could the coins never left your wallet. You know, so when these other projects would have issues, like you might lose your coins, and that sucked. So it was nice to have Algo Stake, like the stuff stayed in your wallet. And I was starting to think that was like a really good thing. I was a little bit critical of it first because it wasn't using smart contracts, but then the more I used it, I'm like, and the more I saw the problems with like Yieldy and some of these other platforms, I'm like, well, this is great because it just stays there. Dude, don't my cat's like trying to knock over my camera. Kitty, you behave now. Okay. So that was making Algo Stake seem more and more attractive. Just the fact that the stuff would stay in your wallet, but it's kind of useless if if the project goes under completely and you have the Algo Stake coin. Now it wouldn't have mattered if I had something else. Let's see. Makes you wonder what the WTF Algo Foundation staff are doing and not doing. Yeah, I just listen. I think John Woods is probably the best thing that happened to Algorand. Frankly, the foundation got nothing but respect for him. Yeah, was it 2 weeks now? We should have him on the channel. So that really got pushed out. I thought that was going to happen like a month ago. So well, it would be a month from I think when I thought it was originally going to happen, but he will be on the channel. He's definitely one of my favorite people in Algorand. I liked what's his name, the Inc. CEO for a while. I'm completely drawing a blank on his name. It's a Sunday. Yeah, but the Inc. CEO, I met him at Decipher, and he seemed pretty cool. Although they all said this thing about the tech, and I'm like, yeah, the tech isn't enough. Not in crypto. It's good. I mean, the tech is very very solid in Algorand, and I think that's great. But you got to have something more. You got to have some panache. I don't know what sparks it. I think you need the projects. That's what really you need, the projects that are appeal to people outside of Algorand. You need the projects where people just want to do the project. Like no one said I'm an Ethereum person, therefore I want to do Axie. Axie had people excited about it from like way outside who didn't care about crypto at all. And I think if Algorand can get some piece of that as well, that could make a big difference. Edward Gilmartin says Silvio is a rock star. Not. No, I disagree with that. I like Silvio a lot. I'll tell you what, he was the most inspiring thing at Decipher. Absolutely, bar none. Let's see. Giovanni Oyarbe. Forgive me if I'm pronouncing it. Algo is waiting for ISO 20022 and maybe same as XRP. Yeah, you should see my video on ISO 20022 because I think a lot of people misunderstand that. There's no such thing as a compliant crypto. And the foundation folks have said that. XRP's ex-chief engineer said that. In fact, that was one of the things I really want to go into detail with John Woods when he comes on the show, because that was something that shocked me, because I was talking about ISO 20022 as well. And then JT had interviewed Stacey Warden, and someone pointed it out. They linked it to the video where she says, hey, there's no such thing. And then I started looking into it. You'll see people say that there's a certified ISO 20022 coin. There's no certification with ISO 20022 whatsoever. So I looked into this whole thing. I read the whole website. It was very, very boring, but crypto is nowhere in it. And there isn't anything obvious for how crypto could be related to ISO 20022. But you can see my video on it. It's on my channel. Kurt Wilson says tech matters, investors, momentum hype matters for gamblers and traders. Yeah, but it matters for all of it. It just does, like it or not. Time for Frugal BC to interview the chief marketing officer and ask some hard-hitting questions. Well, yeah, we'll see. We'll get John on first, and then we'll maybe get the CMO. Yeah, CMO. That was the title I was looking for. Edward says Cardano is more exciting than Algo. That's the thing, though. I think Charles Hoskinson is probably the best. Is a good He's like a founder who also can be a spokesperson. So going back to what Kurt said, as much as I love Silvio, I don't think he's the guy to drive excitement. He inspires confidence, but I don't think he drives excitement. Somehow Hoskinson does. I don't know if it's just the way he speaks. Something about that, yeah. Isn't all crypto gambling? Kind of is. Algo is too close to SEC Gary. Well, that's a whole nother can of worms. We'll talk about that. Vince Alvarez says, "Show the cat." All right, fine. He's here. He happens to be right here. So, here, kitty. There's kitty cat. Say, kitty. See, he matches. Hey, kitty. Yeah. I don't know. He's a little camera shy, so yeah. I love my kitty. Okay. Let's see what else we got. Ice Age Trails. Hey, what's going on, buddy? Ice Age happens to live somewhat nearby me, and a big Algorand fan. He's talking about doing a thing with the Ice Age Trail, which is pretty cool. I'd love to chat about that sometime. ICP could be big, yeah. ICP is getting a lot of attention lately, and I know AJ from BitBoy Crypto, who's a big Algorand fan, is also a big fan of ICP. So I should talk to him about that. Oh no, my phone's going dead. The Putty Cat, yeah. Buy more NFTs, says Ice Age. All right. Well, let's get into more news, and we'll come back to more chats. But nice to see the active chat. That makes me happy. All right. What else we got? Oh, wrong one. And then, going off what I just said, there's another closure. This one of a NFT project. I'm sorry for all the bad news, but you know what? There's just a lot of bad news, I'm afraid. This is from Algolandia.algo. No, I had not heard of this, but so good morning or good afternoon, Algorand community. I have some unfortunate news to share today. This is an incredibly difficult decision to make, but one that I feel needs to be made. As of today, Algolandia will begin winding down operations. Existing loans and loan periods will be honored. The app will continue to be accessible until the last loan has been either repaid. Actually, so this is an NFT platform. This is there's loans going on in this platform. This is an incredibly hard decision to make, but due to a number of factors, is one that I cannot avoid. Thank you to everyone who supported Algolandia, etc., etc. So yeah, that's a little disturbing. Algolandia was a centralized NFT lending on the Algorand blockchain, so there was NFTs involved there. Yeah, so yet one more to add to the list, and I put that in the news section instead of that. But so that's not great. That's one more to add to the list. And again, I really hate to be negative, but I feel like if things are bad, then you got to talk about the bad things. That's one thing that kind of frustrates me, is that people keep saying this is all FUD. It's like, well, this is important to talk about, because you need to tell the truth. You need to tell the good, the bad, and the ugly. And this is about this. This is what this channel's about. So I'm not gonna pee on your back and tell you it's raining. Okay, if something's bad, I'm gonna say it's bad. It's just the way it's gonna be. All right. I got some news about the My Algo hack, and we covered this. Oops, I had the right spot. We covered this before, so we've talked about this before. Come on. Algo hacker on the move, compiling small posts into one account in the last 24 hours. Now, this is almost a week ago, so there's not much to say about that but it's very, very interesting. This guy says, I'm fairly confident this guy is going to be caught. It just seems too good to be true for him to just walk away without leaving a trail. You never know. This person says probably will get downvoted, but I advise not to underestimate the incompetence of people involved, especially after the stuff my algo did. By the way, trying to keep it PC for the YouTube algorithms. I guess you can do some profanity now and still maintain monetization, but funny how no other wallets or banks got compromised, even though almost all of them use CDN. I've heard some people have said their para was hacked, but I've only gotten isolated reports, and the one that thought it was hacked, they just were mistaken. So hard to say. What else? What's next? So Yieldly and Yessports join forces through Wormhole. So Yeah, I didn't think you were going to hear much out of Yieldy. We pointed out last week how they're rebranding, but they also the information on who's on the team they disappeared from the website. So I thought that was pretty interesting. But they're not dead yet. I think they're functionally dead, but they're still building. Yessports and Yieldy unite through wormhole bridge collaboration. Continuing its drive to bridge esports into Web3 games, Yessports, with a 45 million strong esports partner fan base and 40 plus Web3 game partner companies, is expanding access through collaboration with its partner company Yieldy, with 130,000 users over its 3-year history and bridging technology developers' wormhole. Now, I will say that Yieldy is probably the only, well, I know it's the only one of the few Algorand companies that can say it's been around for 3 years because it was like the first one. And I was in on day one because I just started doing a lot of Algorand content, and suddenly there was Yieldy, and it popped up. I don't know how I saw it. It just happened to pop up in my news feed or something, and I was like, "Oh, hey, that's on Algorand. I gotta try that out." And then of course I made a video on it, and yada yada yada. So this represents a significant milestone for Yessports and its objectives in achieving multi-chain integration, which empowers community of gamers to transfer tokens across platforms. I don't know a lot about Yessports, I'll be honest, but as custodians of the freshest gaming collectible platform YNFT, is anybody using that? I don't know anything. I've heard them talk about it, but you don't see a lot like, hey, I don't see anybody talking about this stuff. Yieldy is no stranger to the portfolio of leading Algorand projects. These collections, ranging from art to GameFi, have amassed a loyal following who seek the latest trends in digital collectibles. By bridging with YNFT, esports creators and gamers will gain exposure to a wider audience through increasing reach and accessibility, as well as plugging into the opportunities presented by the recent addition of the No Loss prize game. Oh, who cares? To both YNFT and Yessports, double the ways to win. Yeah, I think everyone pretty much figured out that the No Loss lottery prize game was pretty much a waste of time. Nobody's excited about that. Why are you even talking about that? No one's excited about that. You know why? Because the biggest whales are the ones that win, and no one else has a chance. Anyway, so that's that. Let's take a little break and go to the chat here. Oh, we got lots of chats. So Kurt says all crypto isn't gambling. If you're doing the due diligence, jumping in on crypto or stocks without knowing what you're getting into is gambling. Dan says, hi, bro. And Townstar Mayhem, what is the make and trade of at least 10 of the meta? What is the meta? Yeah. Oh gosh, it's like yeah. I should talk about Townstar a little bit. Well, just to answer your question really quick, Townstar. I think the new meta is like sushi boats or something. It's you can find it in the Townstar Discord. I haven't been playing for a month, but the new Godot, it looks like it's for sure going to launch May 1st. And they're planning to have, the reason I think that's pretty solid is because they're planning to have the first competition for May Mayhem be a test competition on Godot so that they can try out the rest of May Mayhem as actually real competitions on Godot, and the prizes are pretty high. So I admit that they did a pretty good job with that. You can earn Gala just for completing certain missions, like if you get 10 trades within a day or something, pretty easy. Other ones like 50 trades in a day. So they've got like good stuff ready for May Mayhem. As far as the meta, yeah, I think it was sushi boats, but I'll tell you what, I will look it up really quick because why not? I'm nice like that. I think I can find it quick enough, I hope. So if you're still playing Town, it might be worth. Now, what happened to the FAQ? It's the sushi. Wait, hold on. The problem is their Discord is always changing around. So, okay, I'm not. I'm not sure what the meta is unless someone has posted it. Yeah, I can't find it. There's an FAQ where they usually post the meta, but it's just not there right now. So it's something to do with the new fish sushi thing that they've added. I think it might be sushi boats, but I'm not 100% sure on that. I looked at one point. Let's see. But yeah, it does look solid. It does look like it's for sure going to be live on May 1st. So keep an eye on it, and that's for everybody. Supposedly they were adding people before that, and you had to DM Farmer Michelle, the person. But let's see. Kurt Wilson says, speaking of Cardano, have you checked out Cornucopias? I know you're into Town Star. So you may like. Oh yeah, I think you told me about that one before. I'll have to take a look at that, Kurt. Appreciate that. And Kurt says it's not FUD, it's reality. You're an investor. You need to be realistic. Yeah, well, this is what I would say is you can't fall in love with these coins. You should be excited about them because good things are happening, and you should be watching for signs of trouble. And I just see some signs of trouble for Algorand. And I want to be clear that I don't think that necessarily means that Algorand is like done, or this could just be like rocky waters, and things could turn around. So Pat says yield equals the zombie crypto. I'm really impressed by the chat, by the way, today. Vince says I don't believe anything Yieldy says. No, me neither. Pat says zombies don't lie; they just eat you. Vince says I checked out YNFT when it first came out, and most of the first page was not safe for work NFTs. Wow, well, that's interesting. I better not bring that up in the channel then, huh? Yeah, okay. So yeah, I will be playing Godot because Townstar Godot, just because I want to try it out. I want to see how it is. I've been waiting to try it out. You think being like a crypto YouTuber with like halfway decent audience, you think they'd want to like let me in, but they did not. They only wanted a handful of insiders who spend a ton of money on NFTs. Oh, my thing went dead. Let me get that back on. There it is. I think it looks cool in the background like that. Okay, what else we got here? Here's some good Algorand news. Book.io, which is a ebook platform that uses various cryptocurrencies, has minted 10,000 copies of Brave New World. Whoa, that was wild. I can't talk and do things at the same time. Did you see that? That was crazy. Oh man, it was just like video inside a video. Yeah, so they minted 10,000 ebooks and gave them away of Brave New World at this year's consensus. And it was all minted on the Algorand blockchain. So if you, which by the way, I was supposed to get Anthony Scaramucci's book about Algorand, because I had to have gotten it because they just put out a tweet saying the next 100 people who sign up for Decipher get the book, and I signed up. Like the moment I saw it, it was like 2 minutes old or something, so I had to been in that 100. I can't think there were that many people that signed up right when they announced that. Maybe there was, because I was just kind of, I don't know, I just hadn't gotten to it yet, so I thought, well, do it now so you get the book, and I never got the book. So but these guys got the ebook, and they said it says the books will be in your registration bags, but it's an ebook, so maybe there's like a QR code or something. That's really it, but we can look at the PR. Yeah, book.io to release Brave New World's NFT ebook on Algorand blockchain. The book made 10,000 ebooks. You guys ever read Brave New World? It's pretty cool. I like 1984 better personally, but a limited supply of 10,000 ebooks will be distributed via vouchers with free redemption codes to attendees of Consensus 2023 on April 26th, 28th. That already happened in Austin, Texas. Each book features 500 covers designed by AR artists, each with varying rarity, because of course they have to do that. Holders or hodlers, will be able to read the book within the book.io web reader or mobile apps as well as gift, sell, trade these decentralized books. Algorand is a partner who shares our ethos at Book.io. I believe that books should be unchangeable, immutable, and live forever across borders. That comes from Book.io co-founder Ben Ilian. We chose Algorand because of its scalability, minimal transaction fees, and near zero carbon footprint. We want the world to be able to make their own digital assets and digital books, making it impossible for central authorities to ban or censor books at their discretion. Now, as someone who's been a journalist for many years, I really appreciate the lack of censorship. I'm not a big fan of censorship myself, so good to see that. I have to look more into Book.io. It's pretty cool that stuff is going to be minted on the blockchain there. Let's see. Kurt says he wants to see the prison system connected to the blockchain. Well, I think it's a good idea to have a ledger of all transactions, and you could actually government records in general, to have those minted on the blockchain and open access to everyone, since they're supposed to be transparent anyway, I think would be a great thing. Vince says, ebooks are definitely not as much fun as jumping off of buildings and kicking each other in the nuts. Yep. Well, I kind of called for that one, didn't I? Yeah, I do see your point, Kurt. Just government records in general should be on the blockchain. Now that is true, like boring. That is true, like the boring but important stuff. That's true adult in the room kind of things. I'm going to close my tabs so Pat doesn't yell at me. And let's see what else we got. Okay, we're going to go some non-Algorand news now. Now this is Coinbase suing the SEC. So as you know, SEC sent a Wells notice to Coinbase a while back, said, hey guys, you got a bunch of securities. We're not going to tell you which ones they are. Actually, eventually they did. We're not going to tell you how you can be in compliance or how you're out of compliance. But we're probably going to sue you pretty soon, and have a nice day. Well, Coinbase has not taken this lying down, and they are now suing back, and I think that's a great thing. I'm all for it. I'm all about it. Let's take a look here. This comes from the block. Coinbase sues the SEC for answer on rules specific to digital assets. Yeah, by the way, they keep saying like, oh, this stuff is really clear and has been clear all along. And everyone's like, oh, really? Because not really. Let's say the lawsuit follows on a petition for rulemaking that the company filed to the SEC last summer, requesting the commission draft and approve a rule specific to digital assets. The lawsuit aims to force the agency to provide a yes or no to Coinbase ask. Imagine that. Imagine a regulatory agency where you're asking, hey, we want to follow the rules. Can you tell us whether we're following the rules or not? And they say, nah, you can just guess. I mean, how is this effective rulemaking? It's really frustrating. Since that request by Coinbase, SEC has reopened custody and exchange rules to explicitly say that they apply to digital assets, but has not engaged in drafting a rule specific to digital assets. The agency has also engaged in several enforcement actions against crypto companies, including an investigation into Coinbase. Well, I'm really glad. And there's actually a video. I was going to bring it up on the show, but I didn't gather it. Where the SEC lawyers are like really giving it to the SEC, and really Coinbase's lawyers, are really giving it to the SEC and telling them what's up with it. Saying, hey, basically, you guys aren't providing any clarity. You guys were okay with everything when we did our IPO, where you have to go through all this, all this testing and all this review. And now you're not okay with it suddenly. And conveniently at the same time, the Congress is trying to make all these rules about crypto now. And it's very interesting timing, especially since Gary Gensler and Elizabeth Warren got caught. Basically, Warren was feeding Gary Gensler the answers that she was going to ask during a hearing, which is a huge no-no. And that apparently was okay. But nothing to see here, basically, right? What's going on? See, Ice Age says Congress needs to do their job and get legislation already. Yeah, all we're asking for is clarity. Say what's okay and what's not. And frankly, I think they should just leave it alone. And worry about the big centralized actors. By all means, regulate Coinbase. Just make sure they're doing the right thing, but provide clear rules. That's all we're saying. And they didn't seem too concerned when Sam Bankman-Fried was throwing money around at all the politicians, and suddenly no one cared too much about crypto. Interesting. Anyway, all right. Here's some happy news. MasterCard has launched a Web3 user verification site solution. This is the curb bad actors. So we're going to take a look at this one because I think this is really interesting. Some positive news. In case you're wondering, no, Algorand is not involved in this, but another coin that you like a lot on this channel, is the global financial services giant MasterCard has launched a new Web3 solution aimed at enhancing user verification standards and reducing the opportunities for bad actors in the digital space. The solution announced on April 29th is dubbed the MasterCard Crypto Credential. In an accompanying video shared to Twitter, the firm outlined it's building a way for the Web3 and blockchain service providers to help secure transactions between users verified according to standards set by MasterCard. Apparently, they announced this at Consensus. We could watch it. Let me just turn the volume off here.
Blockchain technology has the potential to transform economies. To grow and scale the crypto ecosystem, Web3 and blockchain service providers need solutions that build trust, improve convenience, and ensure compliance. At MasterCard, we have a vision to unlock the potential of crypto and blockchain technology, creating a more inclusive payments ecosystem that gives people more options for how they pay. We're introducing MasterCard Crypto Credential to help users experience more trusted, simplified Web3 interactions. With MasterCard Crypto Credential, we're building a way for Web3 and blockchain service providers to help secure transactions between users verified according to standards set by MasterCard. Users can transact on-chain with confidence, sending funds at the touch of a button, both domestically and cross-border, with their MasterCard Crypto Credential unique identifier. The solution is also designed to support compliance through the exchange of essential metadata required to meet regulations. Together, these innovations reduce the opportunities for bad actors and the risk of funds being lost for good. MasterCard Crypto Credential is designed to build trust and bring more transparency into the blockchain ecosystem, enabling more use cases and helping bridge the gap between blockchain and traditional finance. This is only the start of our journey. Join us.
So, they kind of talked about that, but let's see, where did they talk? Okay, so in terms of blockchains, the firm is partnering with Aptos, Avalanche, Polygon, and Solana. Oh, I thought HBAR was in that too, but I am a big fan of Polygon. Not a big fan of Solana, but that's okay. We can talk about that a little bit because in some ways, I know a lot of people say, okay, there's more centralization. It's partnering with these centralized companies that have been the problem all along. But I don't think it's going to replace the people who still want to use crypto for privacy or want to do it, on-chain solutions. I think it's just to enhance adoption from people who are more comfortable with MasterCard than they are with DeFi. Say, not to pick on DeFi, but or Para or whatever, people that don't want to like a crypto wallet, they just want to do something with MasterCard. So I can see that being a very helpful thing in terms of adoption, in terms of crypto being used. Too bad Algorand. I thought HBAR was in that. It was something else I must have been looking at. I thought HBAR was part of that as well. I must have been thinking of something else. Let's see. But yeah, I actually am a pretty big fan of Polygon. I think it's doing good stuff. Mostly as a holding coin. Let's see, what are people saying? So Kurt says, big influencers pointing out Gensler shilling Algorand backfired. Yeah, that's really interesting, isn't it? Like, there's someone, I think it's Governor Zen who's been posting this video that someone made. They made like a music video, but it's with Gary Gensler talking about how great Algorand is. and asking him to be fired. He's been posting it every day for like 11 days. I think that's pretty funny. Yeah, Vince says, wow, so inspiring. Yeah, I know. Pat says Congress should block too many YouTubers from opening too many tabs on their computer. I feel targeted there. I really do feel targeted. I'm going to lobby against that. I'm going to go to Washington with my placard. Let us have the tabs. They got any more for you? I think I got some more. Oh yeah, we haven't even gotten to Hedera yet. Maybe this was the one I was thinking of. Hedera, new Hedera partner working on biometric payments. Boy, I was sure that Hedera was involved in another thing. I wonder what I'm thinking of. So this is pretty cool. I'm keeping an eye on them with fairly recent Hedera partnership. 81% of consumers are ready to pay with a biometric payment card. Our 5-part series delves into how biometric payment cards are disrupting the payment space with increased security, accessibility, and more. All right, so I have to actually go to this thing. So, okay, hold on. Yeah, so well, this is just all about the biometric payments. But yeah, so this is a Hedera partner. Hedera is involved in this, and I think it's pretty cool. I thought there was, what am I missing here? Well, no, it won't even go to it. Okay. Yeah, by the way, MaureenDenny.art, you should check out her stuff. She has really good NFTs, as does Dale, the Algo Gods guy. Good stuff. I had him, Dale Forward, I had him on the channel. All right. So yeah, that's a really interesting little Hedera partnership. And what else we got? We got other stuff. But yeah, so basically the ipso facto is that new Hedera, there's Hedera partners working on biometrics payment. So good news for Hedera. Oh, here's some good Algorand news. Now you remember how we shared? Nope, did that again. That's like the second time I did that. Kind of a cool little effect. Yeah, so I remember how we talked about Algorand had minted like 15,000 NFT tickets. Now TravelX has minted over 100,000 NFT tickets on the Algorand blockchain, and these are flight tickets. Yeah, so down here it says, great, this is probably one of the only metrics that we really should be looking for. Let's not forget the disparaged FIFA NFT project that is still continuing to churn out additions and foremost millions of transactions. Well, yeah, that's not the argument I would make, frankly, but yeah, according to TravelX, 100,000 plus NFT tickets minted and 200,000 happy passengers thanks to Flybondi official ticket 3.0. But that's really impressive. That is in a very short amount of time. 264,441 passengers. That's amazing. We got some amazing news to share. Thanks to Flybondi official and TravelX's technology, we've achieved an incredible milestone. Well, they just said the same thing they already said, but that's good. Very cool. I think that kind of stuff. I think we're going to keep seeing. This is why I don't think Algorand is over, even though I know it's not generating excitement. I think it's doing really good stuff, so it's still going to be around. It's going to be around for a while because it's doing really cool stuff like this, and I think you're going to see more things like this. I really do. All right, closing my tabs so Pat doesn't call Congress on me. Let's see what else we got. Okay, last one. Let's look at chat first. See what's going on here. Oh yeah, see, likes Dale. Ice Age Trail says points out Dale. Yep, yeah, I got one too. I got the chess one, which is kind of a prelude to my next and last item. I like the outside on the Clinch River NFTs. I don't know about that one. Very interesting. Kurt Wilson says I like how ICP uses biometrics with their web wallet. Very interesting. Yeah. Pat says fly the friendly skies with Algo. Now, wouldn't it have been cool if they could have minted the plane tickets to Decipher? That would have been pretty neat. Vince says, I'm pretty sure all those 100K NFT mints equates to like 4,000 USD padded to TVL. Each one is a new wallet, though, so that's a plus. Yeah, I think it's more about the tech being used and used successfully. I think that's really the key factor there. Oh, Ice Age is 30 Dale NFTs. I got one. I got one. And Pat says, would be cool if most of South America started flying with Algo NFT tickets. Yeah, that would be cool. Actually, I would really like. I've really wanted to go to Colombia for a while. So someday, that's in my long range plans. But I need more free time. I can do the channel from everywhere, but I can't do my day job from anywhere. So that's on the tickets though, for sure. Okay, last one. Did you know Algorand? Speaking of like doing stuff in the background, did you know Algorand is powering the game from FIDE Chess? This is the International Federation of Chess. So someone pointed this out. I'm going to show this. Yeah, so I'm showing someone's profile, but I don't think there's anything revealing in it. This is someone from the Philippines. But here's the important part down here. So transparent ratings on blockchain. So the chess ratings are basically written to the blockchain on Algorand. How cool is that? And by the way, this is what's interesting. You can go to the US. And Algorand doesn't appear anywhere on here. I'm going to do a search. Nothing comes up. If I just go to the main page, like, wouldn't it be cool to see the Algorand? It's protected by Kaspersky. This is like their main page, and I don't see Algorand on here anywhere. You can get the World Championship chess set. Not even on the bottom. It'd be cool if it was down there. And then you can go to the play. I actually really, really like chess. I might start playing with this just because Algorand's a partner. I want to see Algorand splashed on here more, you know what I mean? So, okay. So this is the play chess. You can sign in, but again, no Algorand anywhere. So I think this is one of the problems. They're just not. If they're going to partner with people, then say like, "Hey, we want our logo here a few different places, right?" But nowhere, and that's a little bit frustrating. Now, the other thing is, I'm not sure what that means. But this question asks, why isn't Algo the official partner of Chess FIDE anymore? It says, however, the game's too much data for the chain and live events. I just noticed their logo is missing from the WCC 2023 press conference. Reading through the comments, so many haters gonna hate. I just had my paycheck. That's where it went to Algo. He's just talking about Algo. I read several months ago that AVAX got a partnership with them. Probably those are less partnerships and more sponsorships. Sad because it was a good amount of chain activity that is now gone. And this one said good for them to need to support a sinking boat. I don't know if the chess thing, I'm assuming they're saying Algorand's a sinking boat. Probably didn't want to spend the money to renew the partnership because Algo's price is down so much. I don't think that would matter though. That's the thing. Like for that, why would they care what the price is? It's actually better because it's probably cheaper. But so I don't know what's going on with that. I'll have to look more into that a little bit, but I think that's pretty neat. Let's see what you guys are saying. Oh, and one little piece of news I can share that I almost forgot to bring up, but Fractal Monsters is going to have a mobile version coming out very soon. So if you guys are into gaming, that's cool. You know how I feel about play to earn games these days and NFT games, but good for them for continuing to build. Vince says he has only one Dale NFT too. Need more? Yeah, they're good. Well, actually, I take it back. I actually do have two because I bought one of the whatever he called those little demons. I think he called them. I did buy one of those. I almost forgot. So forgive me. IRL says video looks fire. Yeah, I'm super excited about it. I'm so excited. By the way, guys, if you haven't checked out IRL's channel, it's great. You should go watch her stuff too. Great new YouTuber coming up, and good to see her on the show. Welcome, IRL. Yeah, go check her out. She's got a good live stream too. Let's see. Kurt says, "What's your take on the main names between Near and Algorand?" Yeah, did I get? I'm trying to remember if I got one. I think I did, but I don't like it because I think it's cool that you can do it right in the platform. But from what I understood, and I didn't play around with it a long time, but it looked like you could only when you create a name on Near, a .near name, it creates a brand new wallet, unless I'm mistaken, or maybe there's a way you have to connect them. I'm not 100% sure, so I was a little confused on that. Yeah, kind of bummer because I think I did make a frugalbc.near address, and I guess you can do one with HBAR too. I haven't even looked into that. Probably another one for. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm just looking at the chat. Looks like everyone's making friends. I like that. That's good. Gosh, what else is there to talk about? That ran out of my list, so I'm just excited that this is the most active chat I've ever had, and I'm definitely moving to Sundays from now on. This is a good day. I'm also impressed that my camera. I didn't know how long the battery would last. I thought I might have to switch batteries midstream or something, but it's lasted. It's done really well. Because my old Nikon, like the battery lasted for like days, and the Sony one takes a lot more time. But I haven't been using the shutter or anything, so I guess it's sticking around. That's cool. This is there happened to me. That's true. They're practically free. Yeah, they are. They are. They don't cost a lot. So you found that too, huh? You found that it seemed to create basically a new wallet instead of. I just wanted to call my wallet. I just wanted to call that I wanted to call that I wanted that to be my wallet, just like how you do that on Algorand. So I think the Algorand one worked better in my opinion, but of course it's a lot cheaper. I don't. Did it cost anything? It probably cost like a little bit, but okay. Well, I guess I'm kind of running out of steam, and you guys sound like I think we covered a lot of good ground, man. I'm just so excited about the video. I appreciate IRL. I appreciate you pointing that out because a few people did at the beginning of the stream too. I was super excited when I figured out how to do it this morning. I'm like, I just couldn't wait for the live stream to start, and I can't wait to record my videos this way too. So I'm very excited. But guys, thanks so much for watching. I appreciate that. And like I said, I just think it's important to point this stuff out for that's going on with Algorand. Like I said, it doesn't mean it's the end of the world, but you gotta be aware of this stuff. You gotta take it into account. And like I said, you can't fall in love with these coins. These are investments. I still think Algorand's doing a lot of really cool stuff in the background, and some stuff isn't going well right now. Hopefully that will turn around. I hope that I was excited to learn about that chess partnership, only to learn that it might be over. So very, very curious about that. We'll have to look into that more, but not your keys, not your cryptos, guys. You know what I say? You gotta stay safe out there. If you have anything on my algo, I should probably say this every stream. If you have a MyAlgo account and you haven't rekeyed it, please do. I've got videos on my website showing how to do it. There's a lot out there. Other people have shown them too. So make sure to do that. Get your stuff off exchanges, Ledger for the maximum safety. And as always, I'm Frugal BC, and I will see you in the future.